Now in this session we are going to learn that how to import a file using the text import wizard. We will also learn how to adjust column widths and learn how to add and remove columns and rows. So as you know, in Excel by default it works with .xlsx files or .xls files and open them as workbooks. But Excel can also use data that is in other formats such as plain text or data that has been comma separated and tab separated. Sometimes these source files will be saved with a .txt extension and referred to as text files, but others might be saved with a .csv file extension and are typically referred as CSV files. So this is the example of a file which I have opened in the notepad, and this particular file contains data about the car sales which includes various fields. And let me show you this file, this text file. Let me open this file. See, this is the text file. So here we are having different records. So let me just explain you about this file. This particular file is startup funding file, and you have noticed like the top line holds headings such as serial number, date, startup name, industry, and many more options are there, and each of one is separated by a comma. So we want these to become our headers when we import the file into Excel. The line below these headings is the first line of real data, and again you can see that each piece of data is also separated by commas. So there are different types of headings and all of them are having values. So if we scroll down to the bottom, we can see the last record is last record is 3044. So now to open the file in Excel, what we have to do, let me show you the steps. You need to first open Excel. After that, you need to choose file, open, and then either select the file from the recently used list or click browse to find the file which we want to import. So from here, the file name is startup funding. I'm going to click this file from recent list. So now see, after this, when we open the file, the text import wizard launches automatically and it will start to try and determine what your file is. Note that it has been detected as being a delimited file. That means one that has its data fields separated by a character such as comma or a tag. As we want the headings to become headers in Excel, so for that we need to ensure that we select the option My Data as headers. We can see a mini preview of the data in the preview box below. Here you can see. Then we click Next to proceed in the wizard. In step second of the wizard, we need to select our delimiter, that is, which character is separating our pieces of data. So we select comma and deselect any others. Like by default, tab is selected here. You just need to uncheck this option and check the comma. Okay. Note that the data preview now starts to show us what the imported data will look like. Here you can see. You can scroll down and across this previous window to ensure that the data is going to look as you want and expect. It all looks okay. So we will continue with the wizard. Now click on next. In step 3 of the wizard, we can set the data format for each column. For example, you might want to change a column to text or date format. So from here, you can do that. Like this is, so here you can set the format of date. But for now, I'm just going to select the journal option for each and everything. Now, lastly, just click on the button that is finish. So now you can see in Excel, we can see that the headings in the text file have been imported as header row. But also notice that some of the columns are not showing all the data. Some of the headings are not showing in full and some of the data is not shown either. So all you can see are a number of hashes in the cell. Here you can see. Let me just zoom this selection so you can see. So this is because the column widths are too narrow in some cases. If you remember, we can manually adjust a column width by dragging the divider across. See, by here. Okay. But if you want to change them all in one, then what you need to do, we select all the columns first. From here, you can select all the columns. Then double click one of the selected column dividers here. So we can do a similar thing with rows by dragging to make them bigger or smaller. By this way, you can drag it, or just double clicking a row divider to just auto size it. So there are some columns that we have decided we don't really need. So for that, we can remove that columns, like in this I'm just going to delete this remarks column. So you need to just select this column and right click over here and click delete. So by this way you can delete the column. In similar way, if you need to insert a column in between, simply right click over there and insert. By this insert, it will insert the column to the left of that particular column which you have selected. Same way you can also insert row. By here you need to just click and click insert. It will insert the row in between. So through this you can insert rows and columns. If you need to insert column, then select the particular column and right click and click on insert. Same way you can insert the row as well. So now if you want to save this file, as this is a CSV file which I have opened in Excel, and suppose you need to save this file as Excel, then for that you need to go to file, save as, and select the location. Suppose I'm just selecting location desktop, suppose simply desktop, and write the name of file, select the format, suppose Excel workbook, and simply save this file. So this way this particular file is saved. Just open from here, you can see this file. So this is the file. Previously it was a CSV file, and when you open this file, it will open in a notepad.